For all the kids out there who don't have eyes to see, this is lesser magic in the fucking programming. There's a movie that just came out titled Companion. It's starring, I forget the name of the wet fart. He's Dennis Quaid's kid. He's Jewish, and he's in movies because of nepotism. Just the same. It's called Companion. Just came out. In this case, the lesser magic, it's rooted in their names. And it's also DARPA, AI robot horseshit propaganda. Avatar propaganda. Transhumanism propaganda. Eugenics propaganda. It's all those things bundled into one. But the lesser magic in this case has to do with the names of the two main characters that are introduced at the beginning of the fucking movie. And this happens a lot. But people don't have eyes to see. They don't use the brain between their ears to think. So the two characters, there's a dude and there's a gal. And the gal starts out, and keep in mind, I'm going to spoil something for you. The gal mentions 2 moments in time, and I forget if she said they were good. I think she said that they were good moments. But one is meeting Josh, and the other is killing him. You with me? I also want you to think about the Alpha and the Omega. You still with me? And the other thing you probably should buff up on is the Jesus, the Isis. Okay? The Jesus or the Isis it's the Baphomet. It's hermaphroditic, despite what you'll probably assume. It's Hermes, Mercury, Dionysus, Bacchus, Anubis. It's got a bunch of fucking names, but it's AC/DC and it has tits and a dick. That's why it's the messenger. It sings to above and below, within and without. You're not supposed to understand this shit, and people don't. But you should buff up on what's in the Bible, yeah? So the Isis and all that crap, when it's first mentioned, it does not have to do with a rainbow. It has to do with a bow. But at the end of the fucking horse shit, with Revelations and all the other garbage, Jesus returns, the Isis returns, with a rainbow about its feet. This is relevant in a big fucking way. Because our masters are fucking laughing at us, and this shit is in the horrible fucking programming on the box and the big screen these days. It's just plain bad. But it's also as superficial as it comes, and most people don't pick this shit up, despite the fact that they are just as superficial as it comes, which is why they don't pick up on these things. So back to point. You got Josh, and you got Iris. So Google's a piece of shit, and Josh is also, a bastard version of a larger name. But if you say Josh etymology, it will read mid-19th century as a verb of unknown origin. If you rephrase this shit, you'll get this. Josh is a shortened version of the name Joshua, Joshua, however you want to pronounce it, which originates from the Hebrew name, you can say it if you want, meaning, Yahweh is salvation. And there's a bunch of other shit in here, but just the same. Think about that for a little bit, okay? Now, let's go on to, I think the next slide in here is iris. Yeah? What does it mean? The word iris comes from the Greek word iris, which means fucking rainbow. So, what does Iris do? Iris murders what? The salvation, so to speak. Or Yahweh is salvation. It's pretty on the fucking nose, but it is lesser magic. What the fuck do I know? And it's this movie. Companion movie 2025. Fucking Google. And by the way, the year is still 2024 until March 21st. Right now, I think it's like February 4th. It's still 2024 in case you're a dumb fuck. But the internet will lie to you. I mean, this movie just time traveled apparently, which is asinine. But this is the garbage in question. And I think it's Jack Quaid. Yeah, that piece of shit from The Boys. And you can assume I'm wrong. But I'm pretty fucking sure I'm right. What do I know? Assume it's a coincidence. So as the movie progressed, the shitty fucking movie, the main character's name is Josh Beeman. And by most accounts, superficial Google searches and whatnot, so take that with a grain of salt, it relates to a beekeeper. And if you dig a little deeper, it could very well mean harmony. So if you think of, Yahweh or whatever the fuck, salvation and harmony, maybe there's something there. Keep in mind, the robot has to do with the rainbow. You guys might not know this if you haven't been paying attention. When you see www associated with the internet, the DARPA internet, that's also known as the rainbow. And you're not supposed to understand shit like that. That information's available to you, but you don't hear that come up. If you follow up what I just said, it leads somewhere, and what I just told you is the truth. In other words, there is something that relates to the rainbow that has to do with the fucking internet. Would you agree that the internet involves, Wi-Fi, electronics, etc., etc., etc.? I'm drawing a parallel. There's a correlation between these two things. The character in the movie and the internet that you use daily. Quite a coincidence. Would you agree? The point is for you to look into these things and find other connections so that you start to see what I see. In other words, pull your head out of your fucking ass. Spoilers, the first person to die in this movie is known as Sergey. He wasn't doing the best things in the movie. Keep in mind, he's kind of a shiesty bastard. But he did die. If you look up the etymology of Sergey, he has to do with being a protector and something else. Protector, and it might still be here. Let's see if it's still up. Oh, I might have missed it. I jumped back one too many, maybe. Let's see. Yep. Sergey, etymology. Let's see if it will pop up. Oh, protector and servant. So perhaps you could look at it as the servant or the protector of, the salvation, the harmony, which is in direct opposition with the rainbow or iris. You with me? One second. If you're not, maybe this will float your goat. What is iris backwards? You ever heard of that? Because that also has to do with electronics. Because our masters are fucking laughing at us. Not this bit. This bit is known to people. But everything else I had to say about this stupid fucking movie, if the TikTok lemmings saw this, if the kids in the truth community saw this, they would cream their fucking panties if they thought about it. And this is nothing. I can teach you things you're not supposed to know, but I don't have people fucking paying attention by and large, let alone people that are truly fucking thinking for themselves and about what I've been trying to get through to you about for over 10 years. Jesus fucking Christ. Shouldn't be this hard, but it is. Because things are that far fucking gone. I'm connected to the 5G, I'm on my home network, and I'm using the DARPA internet. One might surmise that I'm fucking censored. Naturally, there's a gay couple in this movie. Big fucking surprise. And at some point, I forget where, maybe halfway through, roughly, there's a reference to Stalin because communism's being pushed. If you're fucking stupid and you don't look into these things, have you ever heard of the Socialist Party associated with the Nazis? Because that's where communism came from. Because it's fascism. It's a shade of fascism. It's an offshoot. It's connected to that. Which is why you got a fucking phony cover story and why all that other shit was dressed up as being diametrically opposed with fascism. In other words, red versus blue, you dumb fucks. Think about it! But best of all, why is it in the fucking programming? The example I usually rattle off is Ant-Man and the quantum universe of fucking fuck all, which is in place to pave the way for a one-world religion. And that Zionist puppet Michael Douglas promotes what? Communism in a Disney movie. Because it's a goddamn agenda.